Today we are in the far southwestern tip of Northumberland, visiting the hamlet of Knarsdale down by the River South Tyne. We'll then be travelling up along the Holt Whistle to Ulston Railway and then finishing up here at Knarsdale itself, for which the hamlet is named. It's about 6 miles, so let's go and have a look.
Our walk today starts at Knarsdale Community Hall, recently built on the site of the traditional corrugated iron Women's Institute meeting rooms. The parish covers a large area of surrounding small villages and vast tracts of open moorland sitting above the river South Tyne. Originally the rectory to St Jude's next door, the Kirkstyle Inn became an inn in the 19th century. After many years as a traditional pub and many years lying closed, it has recently been refurbished and is now a well-renowned gastropub with rooms.
St Jude's Church was founded in 1833 on the site of older churches to serve the surrounding parish. Named for Jude the Apostle, an early emissary of Christianity and best known as the patron saint of hopeless cases. Today it's part of the Ulston Moor parish and holds monthly Sunday services, although it is looking forward to a future refurbishment programme. The first of two buildings known as Knarsdale Hall is Knarsdale Hall Farmhouse. This stone manor house was built in the 17th century by the Wallace family on a mound above the River South Tyne on the site of older buildings owned by the Pratt and later Swinburne families. Originally a gentleman's getaway, it later became the farm we see today.
Just outside the village sits Burnstones. There are two bridges here, an 18th century stone road bridge carrying the A689 over Knar Burn, and a large later viaduct carrying the former Haltwhistle to Alston Railway across the burn and road. Beside these sit the former Burnstones farmhouse and inn, now a shooting lodge, also known as Knarsdale Hall.
From Tynedale Viaduct, the walk follows along the line of the Haltwhistle to Alston Railway, towards the next viaduct at Knar Burn. This 13-mile-long branch line provided transport for goods and passengers down to the Carlisle to Newcastle Railway from 1852 until 1976. You can see more sections of it and learn about the history in our Haltwhistle and Featherstone and Lamley videos.
From the railway we turned off along the Knar Burn, heading along Knardale itself. Knar Burn is a 5-mile long tributary to the River South Tyne, but today we just explore the first mile in each way. The moors on the hills above the dale are largely used for grouse shooting, and the green valleys for hill sheep farming.
A small packhorse bridge crosses the Knar Burn, and it's time to turn around and head back. On this part of the walk, we're surrounded by spring lambs. The valley gives them shelter from the often harsh climate, with lush grassland from the sunshine and showers perfect for grazing and growing. Wooded areas by the burn provide a different habitat, with a show of bluebells and primroses coming through.
Back on the old railway, we walk to nearby Slaggyford, where the former railway once again comes to life. This is the South Tynedale Heritage Railway, which operates a narrow gauge steam service to Alston. Reopened in 2018, restored buildings include the wooden ticket office, signal box, and if you want refreshments along your route, the Buffet Car Cafe.
Having just missed seeing the steam train on the original walk due to timings, we came back on another day to see it come and go at Slaggyford station. It was also a chance to enjoy the buffet car again, with a cup of tea and delicious homemade Bakewell slice.
Just before we return to the village, we come across an abandoned Knarsdale primary school. It operated as a national school and later Church of England school from the mid-19th century until 1970s. It later operated for a few years as the Rob Bell Centre, a branch of the Margaret Sutton Special School. It closed completely in 2012 and the parish council continued to work through the ownership of the building.